2008 Olympic theme to not exclude the Darfuri people, but to include the Darfur people. While it sits on the United Nations Security Council, China supports the Sudanese government. The government who has been coordinating the genocide in Darfur with the Janjaweed for over 4.5 years with weapons purchased from China. Darfur is a part of the world and needs the Olympic dream desperately. Like the irony of the Berlin Games in 1936, the 2008 Beijing Games will have its own irony if China ignores its role in the Darfur genocide.
One dream can change the world. Believing till we find our way.
Hello, my brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers. I come today to talk to you as a Rwandan citizen and as a student of South Virginia University about the importance of human life, regardless of where one comes from. We all know about the genocide that's taking place in Darfur, Sudan. Some of us are satisfied with that knowledge. We think to ourselves that if anyone comes to me and asks about the genocide, I'll be able to answer with a yes and go on with the facts and figures like it was a game show. Yes, I do know about the Darfur, I would say. It is estimated that 400,000 people have been killed, 2.5 million have been displaced, and 3.5 million people are hungry. After singing out the facts, we return back to our daily routine. I used to be like that. I used to be proud of knowing what's happening around the world, be able to repeat what I heard on the news. This all changed one day though, when I was on a bus ride to Uganda. I have this custom where I get out of my comfort zone and have a conversation with a stranger. On this trip, I started talking to a young Rwandese university student who was sitting in front of me. As we got to know our names, where we're going and why, I noticed that he had no left arm. I asked what happened to his left arm, and his response was not what I expected. He explained that he is a survivor of the 1994 Rwandan genocide. And during the genocide, militiamen attacked his house and killed his entire family, including his extended family. I asked him how come he was not killed, and he replied, "That's where my left arm played a part in my survival. I used it as a shield when the militiamen tried to cut off my head. They left me for dead." I remained silent for a few minutes because he comes from the same country as I do, and yet we have experienced totally different paths. From that day onwards, I have never been proud about knowing what's happening in the world and singing out the facts. Singing these facts does not bring an end to genocide and the abuse of human rights. World leaders know these facts, but yet they fail to act. Only action can bring an end to the genocide that's happening in Darfur and an end to the abuse of human rights.
New beginnings, dark night, starry night, will come to be. Dark night, starry night, new beginnings, dark night, starry night.
We have a moral obligation to speak out and shine the spotlight of accountability on the horrific tragedy that is occurring in Darfur. We know that the killings are happening day in and day out, and we can no longer be silent as a world community. The United States certainly can play a lead role in this effort to bring about an end to the genocide. But we must also enlist the support of the world community, because this is a problem that faces the world. And if we do not learn from our mistakes of the past, and we do not call attention to the genocide that is occurring now, then we are only destined to repeat these horrific tragedies again in the future. We can never allow that to happen.
Stand is a student anti-genocide coalition. We have about 700 chapters throughout the United States with thousands of students dedicated to ending the genocide in Darfur. STAND focuses on educating the American people about what's going on in Darfur, and then advocating to our elected officials for the changes that we want to see, and fundraising for civilian protection in Darfur.
I'm honored to be here representing the thousands of students throughout the country that have taken action on this issue to end the genocide in Darfur. Students have really taken the lead on anti-genocide activism. Students have divested 50 universities, including Brown, and 20 states, including Rhode Island, from foreign companies facilitating genocide in Sudan. Students have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to protect civilians in Darfur. Students have made stopping genocide a priority for our elected officials. And today, students are here to show that stopping genocide in Darfur is a priority for people across the state of Rhode Island. We are here to make our elected officials realize that we're not going to stop calling their offices. We're not going to stop sending letters. We're not going to stop knocking at their doors. We're not going to stop holding rallies until they make stopping genocide not just a priority, but one of their highest priorities.
Let's do everything that we can to speak out for those that have no voice. We have chosen the Olympic torch as our symbol because we believe the Chinese government, the next Olympic host, can play an enormously positive role in addressing the Darfur crisis. All eyes will be upon China next summer as they host the 2008 Olympic Games. We are asking the Chinese government, in its role as the Olympic host, to make sure that there is not an ongoing genocide during next summer's Olympics.
As you know, our world is becoming a global village, and no longer can we live obliviously and inconsiderately. More and more, the decisions we make affect us on a global scale. Now, my brothers and sisters, I leave you with a challenge. Let us do all that is in our power to ensure that a genocide memorial center is not built in Darfur with the message, never again. Instead, let us continue to gather and engage the rest of the world to join us in removing from the face of the earth memorials that vow never again. I implore you to change that vow to not now, not on our watch, not ever. Thank you.
We have a responsibility as human beings, as Americans, to add our voices to the call to end this genocide in Darfur. And using the Olympic torch as a symbol of our responsibility as citizens of the world to end this is incredibly important. And so today, I'm proud to join all of you in your ongoing efforts to bring attention all over the world to a call to end this genocide in Darfur, to add our voices to a call to end the suffering in Darfur, and to call upon world leaders in China and all over the world to use their power and influence to end this genocide now. So thank you to the young people who organized this. The entire city of Providence stands with you and stands with people all over the world today, and hopefully every day until it ends, to call for an end to what is occurring in Darfur. Thank you very much.
The Rhode Island Darfur Ensemble was started with a conversation with Samantha Brojante. This group was formed solely for this event today.